Moving on to problem 164. 164 says if m to the negative 1 power, so if m to the negative 1 equals negative 1/3, then m to the negative 2 equals what? Well, m to the negative 1 is the same as saying 1 over m. 1 over m equals negative 1/3. So m must equal negative 3. So m to the negative 2 power is going to be m squared over 1. So that will be equal to 1 over, what's negative 3 squared? 1 over 9. And that is going to be your answer. And that is answer D. Very good. Moving on. 165 says Lois has X dollars more than Jim has, and together they have a total of Y dollars. So Lois has X dollars more than Jim. That means Jim equals L plus, so Lois plus Jim equals Y, and Lois has X dollars more than Jim. Okay. Which of the following represents the number of dollars that Jim has? So what is Jim? Well, let's see here. What we can do is, Lois has X dollars more than Jim. So what we can do is plug this in to get X plus J equals Y. X plus 2J equals Y. 2J equals Y minus X. J equals Y minus X over 2. And that gives us what J is. Is that one of the answer choices? Y minus X over 2. That is. That's answer A. 166 says during a certain season, a team won 80% of its first 100 games. So 80% of its first 100 games, and 50% of its remaining games. So remaining games. And if the team won 70% of its games for the entire season, what was the total number of games that the team played? So if this added up to equal 70% of all the games will be 100 plus R. Then what are we looking for here? What is the total number of games that the team played? Okay, so they're wondering what is 100 plus R. So they're looking for this. Well, let's solve this equation and then plug in the R and figure out the answer here. So 0.8 times 100 is going to be 80 plus 0.5 R equals, that's going to be 70 plus 0.7 R. Move that over, move this over, and we get 10 equals 0.2 R. Move the decimal point 1 down, and R equals 50. What's 100 plus 50? That's going to be 150. And 150 is answer D. 167. 167 says, of 30 applicants for a job, 14 had at least 4 years experience. So we are looking for, okay, so 30 applicants of a job, 14 had at least 4 years experience. 18 had degrees and 3 had less than 4 years experience. Okay, so this is a double set matrix problem. So we have two different groups we're looking at. We're looking at people who have 4 years experience and people who don't have 4 years experience. So that's one group we're looking at. And the other group we're looking at are people with degrees and people without degrees. So let's set up this matrix and see what happens. So we have 4 years and people who don't have 4 years. We also have degrees and people who don't have degrees. And we have the totals. Okay, let's look at the rest of the problem. Now, they also say that, okay, so 30 applicants for a job, that's going to be your total. There are 30 people applying. 14 had at least 4 years experience. So 14 had 4 years experience. And 18 had degrees. So 18 had degrees. And 3 had less than 4 years experience and did not have a degree. So less than 4 years, no degree. This is going to be 3. And they're saying how many of the applicants had at least 4 years experience and a degree. So this is the box we're looking for. 30 minus 14 is going to be 16. And then, let's see, 30, well, we actually don't even need to solve this. We just need to figure out. 16 minus 3 is going to be 13. 8 minus 3 is going to be 5. And 5 is answer E right here. 168 says if 1 plus 1 over x equals 2 minus 2 over x, then x is equal to what? This is your standard computation problem where you simply have to sort of push your way through and figure out what x is. So we know that 1 is the same as saying x over x, right? So x plus 1 is going to be x plus 1 over x. On the left side, and on the right side, this is going to be 2x over x. 2x over x minus 2, like so. If we cross multiplied, what would end up happening is we'd factor out the x and we'd cancel. So we can really just cancel both of these. And we end up with x plus 1 equals 2x minus 2. Then we just move the variables around, and we get 3 equals x. And 3 is going to be answer E. 169. Last year, for every 100 million vehicles that traveled on a certain highway, so for every 100 million, which is going to be 6 additional zeros after the 100, 96 vehicles were involved in accidents. So 96 out of 100 million. If 3 billion vehicles traveled down the highway last year, how many of these vehicles were involved in accidents? Okay, so we are going to be looking for the number of vehicles in accidents over 3 billion. So set up a ratio. 3 billion is going to be a 3 with, they tell us here in the problem that there are 9 zeros. So there we go. How do we solve for this? Cross multiply, but you know, that would be kind of stupid because you'd be writing these zeros over and over. Let's cancel out some zeros in sets of 3s, like so. And we have 2 extra zeros here, let's cancel them out. And so what you're left with is 96 times 30 equals x. So whatever this is going to be your answer. What is it? 0 goes down. 3 times 6 is going to be 18. 3 times 9, 27, plus 1 is 28. So 2,880. And that is C. Number 170 says, 30% of the members of a swim club have passed the life-saving test. Among the members who have not passed the test, 12 have taken the preparatory... Oh, this is another double set matrix problem, where we can just draw a matrix and figure out the answer by doing some calculations within the matrix. So they're telling us that there's a swim club, and some have passed the test, the life-saving test, I'll call it LST, and some have not passed. So We have those two groups, like so. And we have another group where, so we're also looking at people who have taken preparatory course, and some have not taken it, and we have our totals. So the matrix is going to look something like this. And what we're solving for are the total number of people in the swim club. So we're solving for X as the total. They tell us that 30% of the members have passed the life-saving test. So life-saving test, 30% of the members. So that's 0.3x, right? 30% of all of the members. They also tell us that 12 have taken the prep course. No, of the people who have not passed the test. So of the people who have not passed the test here, 12 have taken the prep course, and 30 have not taken the course. Okay, first thing we want to do is figure out what this number is, right? We add these and we get 42. What we know is that 0.3x plus 42 is going to be x. And x is going to be 1.0x, right? Now we subtract 0.3x from both sides. And what are we left with? 42 equals 0.7x. Move the decimal over 1, and 7 goes into 420 60 times. And 60 is going to be answer A. Our next problem is 171. It says, what is the difference between the 6th and 5th term of the sequence 2, 4, 7, ... whose nth term is n plus 2 to the n minus 1 power? So whatever n is, it's going to be this. So if n were 5, then we would have 5 plus 2 to the 5 minus 1 power, right? So 5 plus 2 to the 4th power. What is that going to be? So 2 to the 4th power. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's going to get you 4, 8, 16. So 5 plus 16 equals 21. Is that one of the answer choices? No, that is not one of the answer choices. Let's see where I made a mistake. 16, 5 plus... okay, here's where I made the mistake. I misread the question. The question says, what is the difference between the 6th and the 5th terms in the sequence? So we found the 5th. We need to find the difference between the 6th and the 5th. So let's figure out 6 real quick. Plug in the 6 for the n, and we have 6 plus 2. 6 minus 1 is 5. And that's going to be 6 plus, what's another 2 times 16 is going to be 32. It's going to be, 38. So 38 minus 21 equals 17. 17 is answer E. There we go. Yes, sometimes when going through these problems very quickly, it's easy to just glance over what they're really asking and misread the question. And sometimes the GMAT can be pretty evil, and they'll put these incorrect answers as answer choices, so then you'll pick them by accident. But in this case, they went easy on us, and I was able to realize that I made an error and go back and fix it. Anyway, that's all the time I have for these questions. When we come back, we'll look at 172, which is a standard algebra problem where we solve for x. Stay tuned.